Here at SpecialEffect, we use several different adapters that allow us to set up a variety of different control options. Adapters can be used to combine hardware, but they can also be used to give the user extra functions. This can include voice controls or simply to ensure that the combination of suitable equipment will work on the platform the person wants to play on. Today in this video we're going to have a look at some of the adapters that we use on a more regular basis and some of the functions that we use them for. Several of these adapters have different functions that we won't go into today, as this is a bit of a brief overview, but hopefully this will show you that some of the things that we use the adapters for. So this is a crosshair adapter. It allows you to use a variety of different control options on a variety of different consoles. For example, you can use mouse and keyboard on console. One of the reasons we might use this is actually to use a device such as a Don Johnson, which emulates keyboard presses and allows you to add external switches. The crosshair will also allow you to use a variety of different controllers, such as an Xbox 360 controller on the PS4 if this is the control option that works best for you. The crosshair has 3 USB slots, so you can have up to 3 controllers plugged in at once. So you could potentially use 2 controllers yourself, for example, and have one by each hand. And you could also have a friend play alongside you and play cooperatively, all of you playing as player 1. You can also use a controller alongside a switch interface, for example. So you could have a standard controller by one hand and then perhaps have foot switches with external switches for any of the buttons that are difficult to use. You can also have a swap sticks button, so using a Don Johnson for example, you could have an external switch, and when you press this it would swap the left stick to act as either the left stick or the right stick. You do need a laptop or a PC to get the crosshair working, as it does require a little bit of software, but it's quite simple to use and quite easy to set up. The Supernova Plus allows you to use a variety of different controllers on different consoles, so once again you could use an Xbox controller on a PlayStation or vice versa, for example. It also allows you to use mouse and keyboard, so you could use a Don Johnson as a switch interface, as this emulates keyboard presses. This would allow you to use external switches with the Supernova Plus. The Supernova Plus also allows you to use multiple controllers at once, so you can use 2 controllers yourself, or perhaps have a friend play alongside you cooperatively. The Supernova Plus also has a program button which allows you to remap the controller, so if certain buttons are difficult you can map them over to other buttons if those ones are easier to press. This also allows you to do some remapping that isn't possible when using PS4 accessibility settings or the Xbox One's ease of access settings. For example, using the Supernova Plus you can actually map a walk forward button. When remapping using the Supernova Plus, you will possibly lose the function of the button that you were swapping. The Titan 1 and Titan 2 adapters allow you to do quite a lot of different things, so in this video we're just going to have a little bit of a look at some of the things that we use on a more regular basis. It's worth checking out the websites for both of those adapters to see the full range of options available. So when using a Titan 1 or Titan 2, you may need a laptop to be able to use some of the options that we're going to show in this video. The Titan 1 and Titan 2 work on a range of different consoles and allow you to use a variety of different controllers for those consoles. So again, you could use a PlayStation controller with an Xbox, for example. So one of the reasons we regularly use the Titan adapters is because they allow you to double up switches. This means that if you can potentially press 3 different switches, by doubling them up, if you hold a button down, it would then act as a different button. So potentially you could have up to 6 different buttons. So here we're using the Titan 1 to show the doubled up switches. So if you press A, which is the jump button, Crash will jump. If you hold it down, he'll do the spin attack. Another reason we often use the Titan adapters is because they allow us to set up voice controls on consoles. So for example, you could say the word reload, and in a first-person shooter, you could set it up so that that word would then act as reload within the game. Jump. Jump. The Titan 2 has an extra USB slot so it can use 2 controllers at once, and it also allows for the PS4 to have an official controller plugged in at all times. This helps as the PS4 does tend to need an official controller plugged in to verify. This video was a brief overview of some of the adapters that we regularly use and some of the functions that we use here at SpecialEffect. For full details of each adapter, please check out their websites, which we've linked in the description box below. If there's anything in this video that you'd like to discuss, or if there's anything else that we can do to help, then please do get in touch.